solemn faces in the Barcelona camp. Vinicius Jr. has just been, unsurprisingly, named as the man of the match, Macca.
Yeah, given the MVP award. Rightly so. Don't get many hat-tricks, do you, Super Cup finals, but he certainly deserved it. He looked very... I don't know how they're going to get that trophy on the plane, no, only, and it's a big one, that, isn't it? Going to have to be strong, Danny Carvajal, to lift that.
Yeah, what about the excess baggage for that? But I think Barcelona do want to get home as well, don't they? The next assignment for both of these clubs is next Thursday in the Copa del Rey. Real Madrid have to play away at Atletico Madrid in the Metropolitano. Given the game they had in the semi-final the other night, the 5-3 game, that'll be one to whet the appetite a little bit. And Barcelona, with their glum-looking president, Joan Laporta, trying to put a brave face on things. Is Xavi under a bit of pressure now?
He will be. I don't think he should be, Ian, in my opinion. But, of course, manager of Barcelona, they're always under pressure. Even when they win the league, he's under pressure. But I think with the circumstances surrounding the club and the finances and who gets brought in and who has to be sold on, I mean, it must be an incredibly difficult job for Xavi. And the fact that he won the title last year, I think he should be given a significant amount of time. Barcelona just need patience. They will get the finances right because of course, the sponsorship deals and the revenue that will be generated, but they're going to need a couple of years. So they need stability. They don't need to do anything rash, anything quick, anything panicking. And on the opposite side of the fence, there's Florentino Perez, who's extremely happy.
Just wondering where the story might go for Real Madrid this season. They'll dream of winning the Champions League again. Now, there are one or two clubs who you might fancy a little more than Real Madrid, but they always take a heck of a lot of beating because they keep finding their way out of corners. That didn't happen against Manchester City in the semi-finals last season. It has to be said. Florentino Perez used to winning things at Real Madrid, even signing autographs as the players wait now to collect their winners' medals. For Jude Bellingham, of course, it'll be the very first as a Real Madrid player, the first he hopes of very many.
Yeah, I think it will be very many for him, the longer he stays there, of course. He's had a wonderful start to his Real Madrid career, and 5 months in, he's picking up his first trophy. He deserves it. And let's see if he can pick up more important ones as he moves forward in his future with Real Madrid.
Robert Lewandowski cutting a frustrated figure. Scored a great goal tonight, and it looked, as Craig was saying back in the studio there, as if that might be the start of a comeback by Barcelona. But that third goal, I think, that killed them really, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And again, it was a defensive mistake. One and all that Araujo gets caught, and Vinicius Jr., he's not normally someone who dives into the box and gets in headed areas. And Araujo just gets caught and brings him down inexplicably, to give Madrid the opportunity to go 3-1 ahead again. So they can't really build any pressure, Barcelona, to get themselves back in the game. It was a night to forget for them defensively. Really disappointing evening for them.
Do Barcelona have to think about a change of style? Can they carry on trying to do what Barcelona did when he was playing alongside Busquets and Iniesta, and they had Messi to cause all the damage? They have to adapt to the modern game a bit more?
I think they have to adapt when they come up against the very best, whether that's in Europe or in La Liga. They can dominate it against the majority of clubs in La Liga, but once you get to the very best, they can't. There's Albert Luque there in the crowd. So they do have to change it when they come up against certainly the best in Europe, without a shadow of a doubt.
Real Madrid winning the Spanish Super Cup for the 13th time in their history. That's still one fewer than Barcelona on the all-time records. Well, they've cut that gap. And Real Madrid, I think it's fair to say, have moved on, haven't they, to a new era now. they found answers to how they play without Karim Benzema.
Yes, they have. And, the big question was, what are they going to do with Casemiro, Modric and Kroos? And it's easy. They've done it. And they've done it in the blink of an eye, really, bringing in those players they have. They've got Endrick to come in from Brazil, of course, the new superstar who'll be joining them very soon. So they're forever moving forward, Real Madrid. Of course, the stadium's virtually finished now, so economically they're in a really good place. And apart from bringing in a centre-forward, of course, Kylian Mbappe is constantly linked with them. Alphonso Davies, the left-back, is constantly linked with them, and that won't be a great deal of money. Bringing Mbappe in would be, of course, even if he comes in on a free. But then that would be, the squad, I think, completely finished, and then that'll take them to another level if they can bring someone like Mbappe in.
The officials, who of course also play their part in making things go smoothly, as they did, I think, on the night. Red card had to be issued to Ronald Araujo. Was that a high enough hurdle for a second yellow? It was a silly challenge. Yes. When you're already on a yellow,
absolutely. Isn't it? Yeah, and you're taking a chance, especially when there's a lot of frustrating challenges and barges into the backs and stuff. As I said, you can argue all day whether it was a second yellow. I mean, it effectively finished the game. What I would say is they were 4-1 down anyway. If it was 2-1, you've got an argument to make. But 4-1, they were never getting back into the game, regardless of the red card or not.
Good news is they've got Pedri fit again to play his part. Vitor Roque, of course, has come along, hasn't he? And will presumably join the party and play his part. A rather frustrated Ilkay Gundogan, who was upset enough when Barcelona gave away the lead in the last 20 minutes and lost to Real Madrid in the first Clásico of the season. They had a bit of a hard luck story to tell maybe that time. Not tonight, I don't think.
No, not tonight. I mean, he's got I was going to say they've got problems ahead, but they've got a host of young players who are excellent. Of course they are. And we associate Barcelona with bringing a lot of the academy players from La Masia, but they won't be as good as the ones they've had in the past. And they're really experienced players like Ilkay Gundogan and Frenkie de Jong and Robert Lewandowski. They're not going to get any better or quicker. So they have to address these issues, and they have to address them quite quickly. So he's got a very hard job going forward, though. Well, the two men in shot there, Juan Laporta and Xavi.
Fair to say they won't really relish those runners-up medals, not having won the thing a year ago and won La Liga splendidly last year. They've got to sort out that defence a little bit. Barcelona doesn't look too clever at the moment, especially compared to the way they defended last season in the league. So that's the preliminaries for Barcelona dealt with, and now the victorious Real Madrid players will collect their winners' medals. Incidentally, it's past midnight now. They do things late for this tournament in Saudi Arabia, where it's due to stay. Just to repeat, the Spanish Federation are paid 40 million euros per year to stage this tournament, not in Spain but in Saudi Arabia. Of course, that does not meet with the approval of everybody, not by any means, but it's the financial decision taken by the Spanish Federation. But the atmosphere was good, and over the last couple of years, I've got to say, I've been impressed by the intensity with which the four teams have approached this. It's much better than, say, the Community Shield in England, which does have the feel of being a glorified friendly. This doesn't.
No, this is, of course, the fact that it's just after the winter break, the fact that it's in the middle of the season, as you rightly said, Ian, it's a full-on, high-intensity game. The Community Shield is a precursor to the league, isn't it? And everybody's getting the players ready for the first game of the season. So it has got a definitely different feel to it.
And that's reflected in the selection of the teams. You can always tell by the teams that the coaches pick. And it was full strength really right the way through for everybody. Not much experimentation, which translates as we want to win this. And Real Madrid have won it, and in some style as well. They've banged in 9 goals over the 2 games. Can't argue with that, really.
Jude Bellingham getting his first medal.
Just thinking, has Toni Kroos got any more room at home for any more winners' medals?
Yeah.
Handing over the trophy here to Nacho, born in Madrid. Fitting man to lift it, isn't he? That's the Spanish Super Cup. Safely into the hands of Real Madrid, and of course they'll go through the routine here of the dance and the trophy lift. And this is a club who know how to do it, as you know. You've done it yourself over the time.
And it's important for them. It might be the lesser trophy, of course, but it's still vitally important that they get silverware on the boards as soon as they can. The history of the club demands silverware every single year. And if Carlo didn't produce anything, he'd be under pressure regardless of what he's done in the past. So it's important for Real Madrid to bring home the silverware and, of course, get one over on Barcelona, their eternal rivals, really, in Spain.
Because when they win the La Liga title, they go to that fountain, don't they, in the middle of Madrid? They can't do that tonight.
They can't do that. They can't do that in Saudi Arabia. But they'll enjoy themselves. They'll be quickly back on the plane, and they'll be quickly trying to get into the mode of getting home, seeing the families, and of course